Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best gaming keypad in the market. If you are a professional gamer and want to improve your gaming experience without focusing money much, just go for one of these keypads. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 10. Jancal RGB 35 Keypad. The Jancal keyboard, well, half keyboard, is just as you'd expect it to be. It is a cutout of the left side of a normal keyboard. There is a rather large wrist pad at your disposal which makes sure that your hand fully rests atop it. However, the wrist pad is not that comfortable. It is just a big block of plastic with a slightly tilted shape. This Jancal keyboard has a total of 35 keys on it. Other than the addition of an FN key instead of a Windows key, there isn't much different from a normal keyboard. The FN key allows you to use the function keys on the top for different purposes. The keys are pretty generic, but you won't have any trouble with them if you're just a light gamer with not many needs. This Jancal 35 key keypad does not allow any redefinition of macros. Instead, there are predefined macro keys on the top that you can use with the FN key. And, as the name suggests, this keyboard does have RGB lights. This keyboard is really small and so it won't take a lot of space on your desk. Number 9. GameSir GK100. The GameSir GK100 is specifically optimized for games like Fortnite and PUBG. The keys are closely placed together, which ends up being a double-edged sword. The keys can help in you reacting faster, but you may just end up pressing another key by accident. We again have a keyboard for those on a budget that comes with blue mechanical switches. Along with the main keys, you also have 4 extra keys on the side which can be remapped. The arrow key mode can allow you to make use of the secondary keys as well, which are labeled on top. It's not the best and not the most reliable one, but can it get the job done? If you want something basic but still clicky and tactile, then yeah. This GameSir GK100 keyboard supports plug and play functionality. Just connect the wire and you're good to go. However, if you want to assign macros or just do any customizations this keyboard offers, you'll have to use the software. The keys can get noisy at times and that bugs people out. Number 8. K50 RGB one-handed mechanical keyboard. This keyboard might not be as flamboyant as the rest of the big ones, but it still packs quite a punch. Just like how half keyboards are, the K50 RGB essentially mimics the left side of that of a normal keyboard. On the bottom is a large wrist rest that lets you game for long hours without feeling any strain. Despite being cheap, the keyboard does sport mechanical keys. That's always a bonus. The 35 keys are blue mechanical keys. They're not as great as Cherry MX keys, but for what the keyboard does and the price it rocks, it's more than enough. Other than the main keys, you also have 6 macro keys labeled from G1 to G6. The K50 RGB half keyboard does not have a ton of things to show for, but they're decent. Due to the placing and spacing of the keys, things can get uncomfortable for some. But for a cheap gaming keypad, you can't complain much. The manual provides you with instructions on how to add and define the macro keys. There are 7 different colors and 5 different modes for backlit lighting to choose from. Number 7. SATA's mechanical keyboard. Despite half keyboards gaining popularity, not everyone is familiar with them. For those who've been using a full keyboard, a half keyboard seems like a step down. But the SATA's mechanical half keyboard helps people dip their toes in the waters. It is designed just as you would find a full keyboard, except that this one only has the left half. As the name suggests, the SATA's half keyboard is a mechanical one. Its keys are black switches underneath. The black switches trigger fast with no debouncing and minimal delay. These switches make very little noise, so that's a bonus too. The keys are very well built and they're slightly lifted above the surface, just how mechanical keys are. The keys are not reprogrammable, but it is a good place to start for those not familiar with the half keyboards. As mentioned above, the keys on the SOTAS half keyboard are not reprogrammable. But it's a decent choice nonetheless. And this keyboard does support plug and play. That on top of its small size makes it a really friendly companion for just about anyone. It does have the RGB flare about it, so it's not bland. But the RGB lights cannot be changed and they stay as is. Number 6. Redragon K585. K585 from Redragon is a pretty good gaming keyboard that removes unnecessary buttons and keeps only the ones you will need for gaming. The keyboard itself is very thin and portable, so you can carry it with you wherever you go, which is good for people who like to play games during travels. When it comes to installing it, it doesn't require any installation from CD/DVD. Instead, you can simply download the latest drivers from the website providers in the package. K585 has 7 possible macro keys, which can easily be set and activated, which will make it easier for you to use them in games, thus, making you a more effective gamer. As for its prettiness, there are 5 different lighting modes that will make it easier for you to play your games during long nights. Apart from that, this keypad is extremely comfortable because it has a wrist rest that can be detached anytime. It can help you play longer, without hurting your arms. Number 5. Razer Nostromo PC Gaming Keypad. The Nostromo Gaming Keypad by Razer was the one that made a mark in the market for keypads. The Nostromo has 3 distinct parts: the wrist rest, keypad, and the thumb controls on the side. And all of these parts ooze comfort. The wrist rest can be adjusted, however, the process requires you to first pull off the wrist rest and then adjust it. Luckily, the Nostromo is built to last, so it won't take any damage off of that provided you handle it with care. The keys are made with a little glossy plastic and they are very easy to use. You're already limited to a rather compact space should you choose to game with a keypad. However, the Nostromo proves that through ergonomics, it can be done with ease. The keys do not require very high force to be registered, and it just feels right to the touch. The 16 keys are fully programmable and they come with a blue LED backlight underneath them. The Razer Nostromo is an old keypad and there have been many additions to the gaming keypad market since then. But the Nostromo still manages to hold its own with what it offers. The 16 hyper-response keys are fully programmable and you can use Razer's software to do that. You can switch between 8 different key mappings on the fly and 20 different profiles. Number 4. Deluxe T946 Keypad. The Deluxe T946 keypad is a little different from the previously mentioned keypads in the sense that it has no joystick. The Deluxe T9 essentially is just a cutout version of the left side of the keyboard. It has a few extra controls, but that's really what it is. The Deluxe T9 is a compact keypad with all the essentials that you need. As the name suggests, the Deluxe T9 has 46 keys that offer various functions like escape, volume up and down, function keys, etc. The keys are recess-type keys, which make them quite user-friendly. The Deluxe T9 sports a very friendly price tag, but with that, comes the omission of extra features. The keys have defined functions, and therefore cannot be used to assign macros. You can think of the Deluxe T9 as more of a half keyboard for gaming purposes. Everything that the Deluxe T9 has to offer lies in its ease of use and simplicity. The keys have predefined purposes and therefore, you cannot use them to define any macros or remap them. It is simply a plug-and-plays gaming keypad. Perhaps, a half keyboard would be more fitting for this. Number 3. Razer Orbweaver Chroma. The Orbweaver Chroma has immense customization options and it does not compromise on comfort and ergonomics at all. Everything about the Orbweaver Chroma has been constructed with ease of use kept in mind. It has a higher palm rest than the rest, however, that's not it. The palm rest, keypad, and thumb part with the joystick are all adjustable pieces. Razer goes all the way with the Orbweaver Chroma as the keys are mechanical switches. The switches have very optimized actuating and reset points. All of the keys are backlit with 20 keys being fully programmable with Synapse. The thumb controls feature a joystick and 2 additional buttons. The thumb buttons have just the right amount of force about them that prevents accidental clicking. The Nostromo featured a 2-part palm rest, whereas the Orb Weaver adds on to that and gives the users several more adjustable parts. The thumb buttons can be independently positioned as well. All of these make for a very high level of ease of use. The Chroma edition of the Orb Weaver lets you customize RGB lighting on your keypad. And with the Synapse, you can sync it with other Razer peripherals. Number 2. Logitech G13 Pad. With 25 programmable keys, the G13 is also a very customizable option for one-handed gaming. The keys are molded into a slightly curved shape to make them easier to press and reach. The G13 has a rubber palm and wrist rest, however, there isn't much padding about them. On the side lies a joystick and 2 buttons that can be reprogrammed. The main highlight of the G13 is, of course, the LCD panel. The panel can be used to have CPU stats displayed, changing macros on the fly, and much more. Logitech's G13 has 25 programmable keys along with 3 different profiles for the keys. The contoured keys help match the curvature of the G13 keypad. While gaming, you need to reach the buttons instantly, and therefore, the curvature helps achieve that. It makes it a good gaming keypad for games like Fortnite. The 4 center keys are mapped to WASD by default, but that can be changed as well. There are a few rough spots here and there, but the G13 is a very well-built and great-performing keypad. The G13 will come to you with an installation disk containing the software which you'll need to install as there is no plug-and-play functionality. It does have onboard memory to save your profiles, but the software is needed anyway. The LCD panel will display any important stats that you might need to monitor without switching tabs. Number 1. Razer Tartarus V2 Gaming Keypad. It is absolutely important that the best keypad for gaming check all boxes, and Tartarus does just that. Despite being rather small in size, it has 32 programmable keys with matte black plastic finishing. Like the previous Nostromo keypad, the Tartarus also consists of an adjustable palm rest with faux leather padding. Additionally, there is also an 8-way directional thumb pad which allows for more neutral controls for navigation. Razer has equipped the Tartarus V2 with Razer's mechamembrane technology instead of simple mechanical switches. In all honesty, that is the only place where the Tartarus V2 might lag behind for some. Mechamechanical switches mimic the feel of the clicky mechanical switches, but it's just not that. The 32 keys are fully programmable and are made even more fun with a feature called Hypershift. Just like all of Razer's products and peripherals, the Tartarus V2 is governed by Razer's Synapse software. Through the Synapse software, you can customize the different programmable keys by assigning macros, remapping and rebinding, and much more. Tartarus V2's keys, like most Razer products, have individual RGB LEDs mounted under them. That lets you customize the RGB effects with 16.8 million colors at your disposal. With the Hypershift mode, the 32 keys are switched into a different set which you can program based on your liking.